It's Jams 96.3 Hip Hop and Hits. What up, Scott Pank? And we got a special guest joining us right now. He's an up-and-comer. You're going to be hearing a lot from him in 2017. We're getting him right before the storm hits right now. Talking about Nick Grant. How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. How you feeling?
I'm feeling real good right now.
Thank you for having me, man. I appreciate you.
No problem. And to get to know you a little bit, where are you from?
I'm from South Carolina, Walterboro, South Carolina, small, remote city. You know, roughly 5,000-6,000 people.
Okay.
So yeah, grew up on hip hop through my brother and my mother put me on soul music and uncles and cousins and all these people that play music every day, you know, in my everyday life. And I just gravitated toward what I like. And, you know, eventually that would lead to me, you know, try my own hand and try my own luck at writing music and writing records. So.
How long you been doing that now for?
Man, since I was 12.
You say you're from South Carolina.
South Carolina.
But you don't have the typical Southern sound to your music. Is that fair to say?
Nah,
like you kind of incorporate a little bit of everything. Like even in like the Get Up, your new track right now, you got like horns and everything in it. You know?
I feel like my music is universal. It's a little bit of everything. It's a little bit of East Coast influence. It's a little bit of down South influence. It's a little bit of, you know, Dr. Dre. It's a little bit of Snoop, Scarface, Andre, Nas, Jay-Z. It's a little bit of all of these people that I grew up listening to. So, you know, my thing is just putting out good music and telling my story, you know, and, you know, I definitely pull from these people, but, you know, the end result is their influence mixed with my own experiences. So,
right.
Yeah.
Who is like your biggest inspiration? Like, who do you take from the most?
Other than just like my everyday life and the people in my everyday life as an artist, I take from Stevie Wonder, Curtis Mayfield, Luther Vandross, A Tribe Called Quest, Snoop Dogg, Tupac, Biggie, Jay-Z, Nas, you know, the legendary people, but I also listen to the new guys like, you know, BJ the Chicago Kid, Anderson .Paak, J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar, Drake, you know, Chance the Rapper. I also listen to these guys too. They, you know, they're my peers and I respect them highly as well. So, yeah.
You brought up Tribe Called Quest.
Yes.
You listen to their new album at all?
Absolutely.
It's crazy how
I wouldn't be hip hop if I didn't listen to it.
When you're drawing and you're getting into the lab and you're getting to start making your music, do you like have a set idea of where you're trying to go with it, or do you kind of just go in and just create and see what comes about?
Sometimes it's a little bit of both. Sometimes a beat might inspire me to say something. Sometimes I might have an idea and don't have the track, and the beat might, you know, speak to me to say what I already have, and I might just put it on top of that. A lot of the records on 88 that came out like that. But it just depends on how the day goes, for real. There's many different processes.
88 is the first real mixtape, and
was the first body of work in my heart. You know, I felt like that was my first introduction to the world. So I feel like that's my first album, and everything else is getting to know me as I continue to live life.
How long did it take you to create? Obviously, you know, it's your whole life building up to them, but how long did it take you to put together the project?
Oh man, I've been putting that project together. I had like over 60 records, and I just limited it to, you know, 13 records. Me and my Culture Republic team, Jason Jeter, Amir Boy, Shaka Zulu, so on and so forth. Everybody on my team just kind of helped me curate that project, and, you know, it came out the way I wanted it to. So, you know, yeah, definitely 13 records, and I had about 60. So
that's crazy.
You know, it was a long period of time just putting those together.
And just to even cut down to that many songs, like that has to be tough just alone right there. People probably don't even realize how tough it is to be like, you know what?
Just the process. They think you just go in the studio and work on a certain amount of records, but I feel like to make that, you got to get all of your thoughts out, right, to be able to narrow it down to the best ones.
Why did you decide to do like a cover of Solange's Seat at the Table?
Oh man, that album just inspiring, just, you know, for me, and the stuff that she was saying, and, you know, how we should spread love and, you know, be peaceful to each other. You know, that was enough for me to just go in and say, I want to tell my own experiences based off her content. And that's pretty much what I wanted to do. Even if you take the first two records, it's talking about being in a relationship with a girl or different types of women, and, you know, just setting it up that way. And the third song, I'm sorry, just me being creative and me having content and talking about social issues with the hair care. And the last record is just me being me as an MC, just my raw talent and how I like my wittiness and how I like to create different lines and different rhymes and different styles. So
Is she somebody that you would like to get into the studio with?
Absolutely. I wish she would have came out and said she loved, my rendition of her project. So.
Do you know if, by any chance, if she's heard it or made its way to her people at all?
I don't think so.
Hopefully it gets there soon, right?
Hopefully, yeah.
Because that's been out a couple weeks now.
Wishful thinking.
Definitely. And so that's also bringing you up. You're working on a lot. This has been a busy year because you also got Return of the Cool coming up.
Yeah, man. I feel like I'm like the underdog in this time.
Right.
Because everybody is doing the same things, and
Absolutely.
people don't really like to listen to, unless you already built up that platform for people to be able to listen. So I kind of got to sacrifice and give a whole lot, being that I'm the underdog, and it's so much for people to just sit down and digest your work. So for me, that's like the thing. Just keep working and putting out stuff until they receive you the way that they supposed to.
And it doesn't seem like you're really caving into pressures. I'm sure there's probably tons of pressure out there to conform to a certain style or put out a certain track or whatever. So
yeah, I think the number one thing is me just being me. And if you don't like it, then, the hell with it.
Yeah, right.
So,
but it's a breath of fresh air to hear something different, to hear something so real, and to like listening to the Get Up and watching the little mini movie to go along with it.
For sure.
If you haven't seen it, definitely check that out. It's really dope. You got live instruments in the song, and it just sounds really cool. Like,
Thank you, man.
There's not many people are doing that right now,
I think the first project, like I said, was my introduction. I think this new project that I'm putting out, Return of the Cool, kind of shows people that I can make hit records and big records and records that can appeal to the masses for real. I got records that, that inspired me to make records like the Missy Elliott era or the Jay-Z's Blueprint era or, the Nas It Was Written era. It's just different things that I was inspired by coming up. And, I felt like to not pay homage to these people is an injustice. So I feel like I have to make those kind of records being that these people inspire me. And I want that to reflect in my music because I already feel like they're great. So, yeah.
Right. Now, do you when you go about and you're trying to really kind of figure out the path for you coming into 2017, what do you think is the most important thing you need to do to get into 2017 properly? Is it putting out this album? Is it putting out more videos? What do you think is that step you need to take? I
think it's me being on the road that I'm already on. I feel like lyricism is a rarity in today's climate of music, hip hop. So I feel like I have to stand by that because it's being that it's so rare. If you do it, you stand out anyway.
Right.
So you just got to be consistent with what your message is and what you want, your points that you want to get across and the type of person that you are. And I feel like, it's always it's nobody that's you, but it's always people that relate to you. So, the more work you put out, the more they come along. And, some people for the wrong reasons, just because they want to be cool.
Right.
It's the thing to do, but we need them too. Maybe we can change their minds as well. So
no, that's the truth,
Yeah.
So on the Return of the Cool, which is coming out when?
January 13th.
Who you work with on it, or is it just mostly you?
It's more so my in-house team. I got a producer by the name of Dominic Gordon and, a brilliant singer-songwriter by the name of, Brandon Hesson. And I work with these guys closely, but, no familiar names. And I kind of wanted to keep it that way. No rappers. I want it to all be me, and I want my early projects for people to get used to me. So
no, that's good to do because even somebody like J. Cole, he put out his album with no rap features on it. Still, I think it's just certified double platinum and everything like that. So it shows that you can really just do it yourself.
Do it yourself. If it's good music and it's undeniable, they're gonna love it regardless. But a familiar name you might know is BJ, the Chicago kid.
He's
who's
amazing.
Very talented, man. The guy is genius, very soulful. I feel like we cut from the same cloth, so he's definitely going to be a constant collaborator. Also nominated for, Grammys this year.
That's big. That's a big thing right there. We are talking with Nick Grant right now. Check out his music. He's got the 88 mixtape, which is out. He did a cover of Solange's Seat at the Table. It's a nice 4-track, little EP thing. It's definitely tight. And then Return of the Cool coming out January 13th.
January 13th.
So the video for Get Up, right?
Mm-hmm.
That is like a real production there. You put some time into it, some thought into it. So should we expect maybe really thought out videos from you to go along with your songs?
Absolutely. Even if you look back to which is one of my favorite videos, the Plan from the 88 project, I kind of want to associate a little bit of acting into everything I do. You know, I don't want to just be known as, you know, the artist. I want to do so many different things. So I kind of want that to reflect in my visuals as well while making the music. So, you know, with the Get Up video, I just got on the phone with Brian Barber, you know, who's like infamous for directing Outkast videos, Hey Ya, International Players Anthem for Outkast and UGK, you know, all these legendary people. So, you know, to be under his direction was like amazing for me. Like I had to pinch myself while just being on set, and, you know, the ideas that this guy had, all I did was show up for real. You know, everything was his idea, and I just, you know, followed him, and, you know, it came out dope. It came out dope, legendary. And I think that's just as important as the music, you know, because people have to see you, and the light that they see you in is just as important as, you know, the type of music that you make. So,
all right, there it is. Nick Rand, check out his song, Get Up. The video's dope.
Yes, out now. Return to the Cool, January 13th.
It's Jams 96.3.